So Gavin here is our first speaker for this evening, but as you may be able to tell, Gavin's voice is probably going to need you to be really quiet because he's going to use the power of technology to give him a voice. And with that voice, Gavin's going to share a little bit about who he is and the adventure that he's been on. And we feel really privileged to have you today, Gavin. So the floor or the stage is yours, my friend. Welcome.
Particular day, well, not at least for my parents anyway. It was the day I was born and the start of a journey of fight, survival, acceptance, and pain. My mother gave birth to me at the Royal Gwent Hospital in Newport, South Wales, UK, just before Lady Diana gave birth to Prince William on Monday, June 21st, 1982. Can you tell the uncanny resemblance between us? The big ears and receding hairline. Obviously, I teased my mother and claimed William and I was swapped at birth somehow, even though we were born miles apart, and that time the real prince. I was the closest baby born to Prince William, and we received a royal christening robe in the post, which I was later christened wearing. On a hot and sweaty day in June 1982, my mother went into labour with her first child, but little did my parents know what lay ahead. Having your first child is life-changing for any parent, but being told that your child will likely not be average during its first agonising living hours is traumatising. While lying on a birthing table and enduring the excruciating experience of giving birth, it soon became apparent to the midwives, nurses, and doctors present that there were to be serious complications. Okay, you could argue that the stars were aligned, my fates were sealed, and I was to be a stubborn soul from the word go. I faced misconceptions and misunderstandings throughout my life. Doctors and consultants told my parents that my life would be different to an average person's. They said there would be a high chance that I would never walk or talk. Well, it took me longer than most to master the act of balance, but through my bearer's persistence and my inquisitive stubbornness, I eventually learned how to walk, and these days, there are occasions when my mum says that I don't shut up. To break my life up until now down, my parents had to fight for me to go to mainstream school because they believed that was where I was to be challenged to reach my full potential. Thankfully, they won their fight, and I was to go on and have a mainstream education. I managed to play for a non-disabled junior football team with patience and understanding, not only from me because I always knew I had to play sport within my capabilities, but also from other people's perspectives because them being so supportive of the fact that even though I'm different, I was determined to play in the same sports team as my friends. I eventually left education, where secondary school was the furthest I would go. I went on to get a job for a newspaper where the same company employed me for 17 years. This is where I had to work my game to prove to a handful of ableist skeptics that I was academically and physically capable of working in an inaccessible office environment. I could get around, just about, but thinking back, if I were a wheelchair user, I probably would have struggled. I sometimes overworked to try and type as fast as possible to impress. Still, this was my way of keeping up with the rest of my colleagues and being as functional as them in a workload capacity would ignite. It became a way to channel my thoughts and feelings, a natural therapy. I was effectively using writing as a counselling process, helping me to chase the sadness of this enormous change in my life out of me. This eventually led to me starting to learn how to write song lyrics and becoming good at it, becoming a collaborative songwriter and moving on to co-writing songs for the 80s hit-making band The Corgis, who are best known for hit songs like Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime. I was also asked to write a charity song for West End and Phantom of the Opera star Peter Carey and to write a single for one of our force's sweethearts, Kirsten Osborne. Now I had fully turned my attention back to pursuing my writing passion, and if you delve deeper, subconsciously there had been something deep down that I have been anxiously longing to do from a very young age, and it was to use words to chronicle and tell my story of disability and acceptance. The one way to do this was thoughts to take away with you. Always embrace your true self, allowing your unique colours to shine. Remember, being different is okay, and never judge others until you truly know them. Together, we can create a world of acceptance, inclusion and understanding, where we can educate about celebrating our differences. That's how we make a difference together. Thank you for listening.